This is Engage New York, Module 2, Lesson 14. Read the objective while I read it out loud. I can use fraction and decimal multiplication to express equivalent measurements. We are going to go ahead and start with our fluency practice. Divide by 10. Remember yesterday when you multiply versus divide, right? Moving those decimals. Remember, if you don't notice a decimal, where does that decimal really live? Then we have unit conversions. So these are basic unit conversions. Then on the back, we have multiply unit fractions. So 4 times 1 banana is how many bananas? 8 times 1/4 is. So you're going to go through and see how you do. Your application problem is to draw and label a tape diagram to represent the following. Remember what a tape diagram looks like? Okay, tape diagram. That is what you're going to go ahead and begin with. Go ahead and start, and we will come back and debrief in just a minute. All right, divide by multiples of 10. So technically, you could just cross off the zeros, and 42 divided by 1 is 42. That's a strategy. 42 divided by 2 is 21. On numbers that have zeros like that, I just tend to cross off the 0. And then 3 divided by 96 is 32. I crossed off the 0, and I went 2 divided by 68. Just a little strategy right there. On unit conversions, 12 inches, 13 inches, 14 inches, 15 inches, 22 inches, 20 inches, 24 inches, 25 inches, 34 inches, 30 inches, 36 inches, 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 inch, 1 foot, 2 inches, 1 foot, 10 inches, 2 feet, 2 feet, 10 inches, 2 feet, 1 inch, 3 feet, 3 feet, 10 inches, 3 feet, 4 inches, 4 feet. How'd you guys do? All right, next, multiply by unit fractions. So we're kind of starting this whole process here. 4 times 1 banana equals 4 bananas. If I have 8 1/4, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1/4 equals 1 whole. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1/4, which is another whole, which is 2. Then I have 4 times 1/7 is 4 sevenths, or 4 sevenths. 4 times 1/4 is 1. So if I have 4 1/4, right? Because multiplication is repeated addition. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which would be 4 over 4, which would equal 1, correct? Correct. Then we have 4 times 1/7 is 4 sevenths. Then we have 7 times 1/7. If I have 7 1/7, I have 7 over 7, which is 1 whole. If I have 3 times 1/3, that means I have 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, which is 1 whole. If I have 6 times 1/3, that means I have 1/3, I have 1 whole plus a whole another 1/3, which is 2. Then if I have 8 times 1/4, so I have 1/4, I'm going to have 4 1/4 right here and 4 1/4 here, which would be 1 whole plus another whole would be 2. Yes? Okay, then if I had 24 1/3, so I did 8 across, 3 down. So if I had 1/3 plus 1/3, 1 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, if I had, this would add up to 8. 8 1 wholes, yes? All right, now, application problem. All right, so draw and label a tape diagram to represent each of the following. So, tape diagram, if I'm going to break this up into 7 days. 1 day is 1/7 of a week. 1/7 of a week. Make sure you have this down because this is where we're going. Express 1 foot as a fraction of a yard. Well, there are 3 feet in a yard, so 1 foot and 1 foot and 1 foot, that's 3 feet equals 1 yard, and 1 foot of it is 1/3 of a yard. Now, express 1 quart as a fraction of 1 gallon, and there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon. 4 quarts equals 1 gallon, so if I had 1 quart, I have 1/4 of a gallon. Then centimeter to 1 meter. So 100 centimeters. So if I have 1/100th of that, I have 0.01 of a meter, or 1/100th of a meter. Then if I have 1 meter all the way up to 1,000 kilometers, I have 1/1000th of a kilometer, or I have 1/1000th of a kilometer. Okay, make sure you have this down so you can go back and look at it when you come across problems like this. Then you have a nice example of how it should look, okay? Because these problems will come back again. All right, let's go ahead and start concept development.